Hey everyone, welcome back to Movie Night Massacre. I am your host, Casey. Before we get into this today, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who watched, liked, commented, and subscribed on my last video, the top 10 horror films directed by women. I'm still kind of tinkering to get my feet under me on this channel and the whole YouTube thing, and something definitely caught your guys' attention. With your support and positive feedback, I went from like 38 subscribers to almost 170 at the time of this recording, and that video has over 3,000 views. And like, I know we're not talking Mr. Beast numbers here, but for me, that's a lot. That's a really big increase over the course of especially like a week and a half. So I hope it's a sign of good things to come as we build out our humble little community in this corner of horror YouTube. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your feedback and thank you for your support. It's really encouraging and I'm going to keep working hard to make this channel cool. But that's enough yapping from me. That's not why we're here. Let's get on to the main event. Guys, the air is getting crisp. I busted out my Halloween decoration tote in the middle of September because today's topic is 5 Halloweencore movies to watch in October. For some of us, Halloween is not just a day. It's a whole month of autumn leaves and carving pumpkins and corn mazes and pressing all of the buttons on the Home Depot animatronic displays. It's a special and specific time of year that I'm going to dub Halloweencore, and I've loved it ever since I was a kid because I grew up in and around Chicago, so we had these really quintessential Halloween seasons like you see in the movies. We had the fall leaves and the apple cider and the neighborhood decorations, the pumpkin farms, and of course, getting to hit the neighborhood with your friends one night a year to trick or treat. I really treasure those memories and feelings. They're an important part of my childhood, and even though my jack-o'-lantern bucket days are behind me, I'm going to try and keep that party going now. Now, fast forwarding to 2025, we like to celebrate the holiday season by picking at least one seasonal movie per day to watch leading up to Halloween, and today I've picked out just a couple of those that I think really fit the mold. The films on this list weren't necessarily picked because they're really scary or something. I picked them because I think they embody the Halloweencore mindset of October and all the spooky autumnal fun that comes with it. I do want to mention before we get started that I intentionally omitted the major franchises from this list, and the reason is that I want this channel to be spotlighting films that are a little bit off the beaten path that maybe you haven't heard of, haven't seen before. And I know that all of you have already seen the Halloweens and the Screams and the Friday the 13th of the world, so still add those to your October calendars. They're great for a reason, they're classics for a reason, but we won't be talking about them today. Okay, I hope your candles are lit, I hope your apples are bobbed, and I hope your cider is hot because we're about to get started with 5 great Halloweencore movies to watch in October. Number 5, Hell Night.
Welcome to Garth Manor. In order to be a member of Alpha Sigma Rho, one has to do what?
To stay in Garth Manor one night.
Now the fun begins.
Hey!
Pray for day, Hell Night.
Hell Night is a 1981 slasher taking place on Halloween night. It follows a group of fraternity and sorority pledges who are tasked with spending the night in an abandoned mansion that was the site of a grisly tragedy, but it may not be as empty as it seems. This film was directed by Tom DeSimone and written by Randy Feldman, and it stars Linda Blair, who pretty much all of you are going to immediately recognize the name of as Regan from The Exorcist. I think Hell Night is really cozy, even though I know that's kind of a weird thing to say because it's about murders in a spooky old mansion. What I mean by it is, even though it released in the early 80s, you get this very 70s style to it, and that includes the story pacing, which is a little bit slower than the late 80s fare that we're kind of used to. It's got very like 70s styling in both the wardrobe and the hair, and it feels very 70s in the cinematography as well. It was important to the director DeSimone that his film feel more gothic than some of his other competitors at the time, and for that reason they set it on Halloween night. That way they could explain why their modern college kids are wearing period or even fantasy adjacent wardrobe. A quick fun fact on this one is that it's one of Frank Darabont's first screen credits as a PA or production assistant, and you've heard that name before because he was one of the chief developers and producers on the original season of The Walking Dead, which subsequently set off a terrible spin-off empire. Hell Night was not super well received when it came out. It even got a 1-star review from Roger Ebert, but today it enjoys a pretty good cult following from the horror community. I think that while it may not be the best of the best, it's got a great, cozy, seasonal feel to it and a pace that makes it really good for a date night on the couch. Number 4, Cobweb.
I heard it again.
No more nightmares tonight. Okay, champ? This is getting ridiculous.
This is an old house. There's bound to be bumps in the night.
That's right.
You know, I wish I had someone I could talk to about the things that were happening in my house. What is that? The banging.
Enough! It's going to get you into trouble one day.
Cobweb is a 2023 film where we follow a small family living in a house with their own pumpkin patch in the backyard, which would be rad if the home and its occupants weren't steeped in a deep, pervasive dread for an hour and 30 minutes. This was directed by Samuel Bodine and written by Chris Thomas Devlin. It stars Lizzie Kaplan, Cleopatra Coleman of Infinity Pool fame, and Anthony Starr, who you know best as Homelander from The Boys. The story mostly follows the 8-year-old son, Peter, as he navigates his life with his overbearing and unusual parents, as well as the strange sounds coming from his bedroom wall at night. I really like the cinematography and lighting in this film. I think it pulls a lot of weight in making what should be a small, typical home in the autumnal suburbs feel ominous and unnerving. It should be this warm and inviting place, but instead it is yawning and eerie and weird, and it's one of my personal favorite horror motifs. Anthony Starr also delivers a great performance here, and I think it's pretty reminiscent of his role as Homelander on The Boys, which is to say he's got this great, like, all-American father look and sound to him with something insidious barely simmering beneath the surface. This kind of performance seems like Starr's perfect niche, and it really helps put you in the shoes of the little boy Peter as the plot progresses and you're really not sure what his true intentions are. Suspense is the name of the game for Cobweb, and I think Starr does a lot to pull that wagon. Two kind of fun facts about this film is that principal photography was shot in Bulgaria, which is becoming more and more common over the last few years, mostly due to shooting costs. And one of the producers is Seth Rogen. Yes, that's Seth Rogen that you're picturing right now. Cobweb contains exactly 0% of the humor that you come to know from Seth Rogen, so I'm guessing maybe he took a special interest in the screenplay, or maybe he knew someone else who was attached to the production. Either way, I thought it was a unique name to see attached to a suspense horror film. This movie has it all. It's got weird parents, it's got things that go bump in the night, and it's got way too many pumpkins. So if you need something to get you in the Halloween mood in October, definitely get this one in your queue. Number 3. Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Halloween, the children.
You happen to know anything about this Cochran?
All I can tell you, mister, is watch out. He's watching you, friend, I guarantee you that.
Trick or treat, trick or treat.
Hey, Mr. Cochran, just what is the final process?
Witchcraft. To us, it was a way of controlling our environment.
Hey!
Where are they taking her?
They're taking her to the factory.
I want a mask. Can I have a mask?
Just what I had in mind for you, little buddy. Why, Cocker? Why? Do I need a reason? I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children. I'm glad you'll be able to watch it. The world's going to change tonight, Doctor. Happy Halloween. Stop it!
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the night no one comes home.
Okay, I know I said literally a few minutes ago that I was not going to talk about this franchise.
I intentionally omitted the major franchises.
But hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Halloween 3 can be watched on its own because it's the only one in the Halloween series that both is not a part of the series canon and does not have Michael Myers in it. The reason for this is that Halloween 3 actually began its life as a departure from the film-to-film mythology of Michael Myers and the gang. They wanted to pivot the series into becoming an anthology where every film entry was a different story set on Halloween night. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, who had varied roles in writing, directing, and producing the first 2 Halloween films, intended for Season of the Witch to be the first of these anthology films, but that was obviously dropped after it released because we got 10 more Michael Myers films that you can untangle with this handy-dandy flowchart. So, knowing that Season of the Witch is wholly separate from the Michael Myers Halloween franchise, what exactly is it? Halloween 3 was directed and written by Tommy Lee Wallace, who was a collaborator of the previously mentioned John Carpenter and Deborah Hill power duo. It stars beloved horror regular Tom Atkins, as well as Stacey Nelkin and Dan O'Herlihy, who you might recognize as the CEO from RoboCop. The film follows a down-on-his-luck doctor named Daniel Chalice as he unravels the mystery behind the new Halloween craze sweeping the nation: children's masks with a dark secret created by a company called Silver Shamrock. This one doesn't need much explanation for why it's a Halloweencore film. It takes place in and around a Halloween mask factory that's creating these awesome, quaint latex masks that definitely take me back to my childhood. These masks go viral before going viral was even a thing, and that's driven by these constant blasting television commercials with a jingle so earwormy that once you see this movie, you're never gonna have a Halloween season again where it doesn't get stuck in your head.
8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. 8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
There's some fun effects in Season of the Witch, and a lot of really nice Halloween locations and shots that make it a shoo-in for this list, even without Michael Myers. You can also sense that the detached anthology format really let them get creative with the mystery and sci-fi elements that it starts incorporating as the plot progresses, and I really appreciate that. I like when a series entry can go out on a limb and try something new to shake up the formulas that sometimes they can get entrenched in. I'll be upfront that the lore in this one gets a little bit wacky, but I think it's in a way that's very fun and cozy to watch. And because it's a child of a much larger franchise, it also has the benefit of getting a lot of really beautiful transfers over the years, including a 4K UHD Blu-ray from Scream Factory. So if you're just enough of an AV nerd and you want to check this out this Halloween, consider that version. Number 2, Trick or Treat.
This is the one night.
Don't forget your costume.
All sorts of things. Roam free.
Halloween School Bus Massacre.
Daddy!
Shh, be quiet.
Why?
You'll bother the neighbors.
Okay.
Rupert! Over here!
Trick or Treat is a 2007 anthology horror film that was both written and directed by Michael Dougherty, who was also the writer and director on another holiday classic, Krampus from 2015. Like most anthologies, this film stars a lot of people that you can point at and go, hey, I recognize that person from something, and that includes Anna Paquin, Brian Cox, Dylan Baker, and Timo Pennicott. Trick or Treat is comprised of 5 short stories connected within the framing device of a town called Warren Valley in Ohio on Halloween night. As the night progresses, we follow a variety of Warren Valleyites as they get tied up in their spooky holiday hijinks, some even crossing paths in passing before our finale that ties the whole room together. At a crisp 82 minutes, this one is absolutely packed with quintessential Halloween imagery and laughs and gruesome violence that's tucked into the jack-o'-lanterns and candy corns and skellingtons of Warren Valley. Sam, the iconic little puppet boy, actually appeared for the first time in one of Michael Dougherty's shorts in 1996 called Season's Greetings, and since then he's really exploded into this kind of horror mascot. That includes partnerships with Spirit Halloween and appearances in major video games like Call of Duty and Rocket League. I've talked about the horror review landscape on this channel before and how aggregate sites tend to skew quite low because of the polarizing and often extreme contents that are in these films. In fact, every film on my list today, except this one, is considered rotten on Rotten Tomatoes with a score between 49 or 59%. Trick or Treat, though, breached containment and is the only fresh entry with 82%. Besides just being a really fun film that moves at a fast clip, I think this can be attributed to how well it weaves standard horror, violence, and gore into nostalgic Halloween imagery. That includes the whimsical scoring, it includes the laugh-out-loud humor. I think it's just approachable to people of all walks of life who love Halloween, even if they're not always into horror. As an aside, after Dougherty's success with both this and Krampus, I would personally be interested in giving him a crack at the Gremlins reboot. You know the studios are going to make it and shove it down our throats anyway, so we might as well give it to someone who has a proven track record with manipulating both practical effects and nostalgia. Just a thought I've been having for a long time. I hope saying it will charge it and manifest it out into the world. Anyway, back on topic, Trick or Treat is a holiday classic to me. I usually put it on at least once every October, and I think it really embodies the spirit that this list was built for, both for the Halloween season and for October. So if you haven't seen this yet, if it's new to you, definitely add it into your queue. Number 1, Night of the Demons.
A funeral parlor? Way out here?
I can't believe we're gonna party here.
Now it's time for party games.
Yeah. How about a past life seance? A seance?
What the hell was that?
The pure evil. They're demons.
Night of the Demons. Rest assured, we've got something wonderful planned for you.
Night of the Demons is a 1988 supernatural slasher following a pack of teenagers who decide to throw a Halloween rager at an abandoned funeral parlor, until their rowdiness and disrespect awakens the dormant demon in the crematorium. I think we've all been there. Night of the Demons was written by Joe Augustine and directed by Kevin Tenney, who also directed a 2009 reboot of the same name, and one of my other favorites, Witchboard. Because this is a movie about rowdy whippersnappers getting killed, the cast is quite large, with the biggest name probably being horror darling Linnea Quigley. It also features Hal Havens, who starred in another film that we'll probably have on this channel at some point called Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolo-Rama. That is a real film, and we don't have time to unpack that right now. I consider this film to be a center point between three subgenres, that being slasher, zombies, and possession. All three kind of get married here, I think really successfully, in a very fun hybrid. The funeral parlor location they used, called Hull House Mortuary in Los Angeles, was an actual derelict building, so much of what you see isn't even set dressing, but instead authentic decor from when it was a functional space. It unfortunately, but also understandably, was later demolished in 1994 and is now the site of a Ralph's grocery store parking lot. There's also a surprise voice cameo in this film for the dialogue of the demon that most people aren't even aware of, and that's from Frank Welker, who's an incredibly prolific voice actor that you've probably been hearing for most of your life. But to me, he will first and foremost always be Fred from the original Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Well, if we're gonna find any ghosts, we better split up. I think we better split up. Let's split up and search for this ape man who eats hamburgers.
This film has every quintessential trope that you know and love, without being stale, and even outside of the Halloweencore moniker that we're discussing today, Night of the Demons stands out in my mind as one of my absolute favorite ensemble supernatural slashers. It's got cringe performances that I love, it's got good and bad practical effects, it's got poppy synth scores, the whole 9 yards. I think any horror fan is going to walk away happy from this one, guaranteed. So that's my list of 5 great Halloweencore films to get you primed for the sacred month of October. As with all lists, there were some hard cuts to make here, so hit me up in the comments with what films get you in the holiday spirit. As always, guys, if you like what you saw today, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I am a new channel, so every little bit of engagement helps. I really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you stay safe and stay spooky.